Hello, my crafty friends. Today I am sharing my 4 alternate cards made with the January 2021 paper pumpkin. I will have another video sharing another 4 cards coming up, but I wanted to get this video done so I could share my 4 alternate cards. It's no secret that I love the envelopes that come in the paper pumpkin kits. I love the quality, I love the shape of the flap, so I tend to make A2 cards when I can use these lovely envelopes, although I did manage to make one slimline in this group of 4 because I also love to make slimline cards. I stamped on the envelope with the included snail and flower images. Now my card is an A2 sized card, a top folding, and that's 4¼ by 5½ inches. I did cut apart the pretty red card base so I could cut it with this scalloped stitched rectangle die, and I saved the back side for another project. And then I cut the white mailbox panel with a stitched rectangle die, also by Your Next Stamp, just to give the edge a little something something. The rest of the panel I decorated pretty much as the instructions indicated, with the sending love, the ribbon, the stamped flowers, and the enamel bits. But I did want to extend the grass, and I used a black marker to do that. The stitched scalloped rectangle was popped up with foam tape onto a black card base. And inside, you can see I stamped another snail. I used a scrap piece of the back of the card for the red at the bottom. And then I stamped Hi Valentine on a word balloon that is a retired die set from Stampin' Up! I also added some flowers and inked the edges that got popped up with thin foam tape. I'm really happy with this card when you open it up and that little snail is saying Hi Valentine. My second card is also an A2 card, and once again I cut apart the paper pumpkin card base. On the envelope I stamped the flowers and added gold gel pen highlights, and the large heart from the stamp set was stamped on the envelope as well as inside the gold foil heart. The Hi Valentine was added to the envelope, and I added the peach panel to a white card base and saved the back side for another use. Did it pretty much as the instructions indicated, stamping the heart inside, adding the love, the ribbon, the black scalloped border, as well as the peach enamel shapes. And the U was stamped on one of the included rectangles, and I added that. This family image comes from the April 2020 paper pumpkin kit called My Wonderful Family. I added that to it because this one is actually for my brother, and I know he's really going to appreciate the sentiment. Inside the card is the pop-up. I also decorated the inside with some flowered pattern paper and some labels. I'm glad you are my family. That was in the April paper pumpkin kit, and I liked the peach from the doily and the peach from the pattern paper that it brought in the peach color from the front of the card. It is a little flowery for a boy, but I don't think my brother's going to mind. He's going to appreciate the sentiment. These doilies were a gift from my Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I was just impressed with the quality. The laser cut is just exquisite. So I was glad to be able to use those. I adhered them to my pop-up, and both of these labels are from Stampin' Up's Tasteful Label die set. This is a simple box pop-up, and I don't have a tutorial for you on it yet. I'm hoping to do one later in February. But you can see that it works really well inside the card, and I do have a video linked below on how to do a box pop-up, just different measurements for the box, and it's going the other direction. But you can see how if you turn it that you can make a pop-up work for your other cards. You just have to be careful when you add something that it doesn't stick out through the side. So this doily fits perfectly on this pop-up. So that is my second alternate card from the paper pumpkin kit. And now I'll show you this slimline card. I do love slimlines. So my slimline card, I decorated the envelope again, stamping the heart on the front and flowers along the flap. Now this is a card layout that I saw from Alicia at Call Me Crafty Al. I think she did it in September. I'm just guessing at the date. So I took another one of the full-size peach card bases and turned it so the 8.5 inches was on the side, 5.5 inches at the top, and I cut it down to 3.25 inches, setting the other piece aside for a different project. Now the red comes from the back side of the card number 1, where I had cut that card base in half. I cut it to 3.25 inches, cut a diagonal, and I saved that top piece for a card that I will be showing in my next video of paper pumpkin alternates for January. I added some more of the black scalloped pieces that came in the kit, as well as stamping the heart inside the gold foil piece. The love and the ribbon comes from the kit, and the and hugs comes from the love slimline tag from Crafty Meraki. Inside, you can see I added the same pop-up as I did on this card, but it's not as deep. So the one on the right is about a 1-inch depth, and the slimline has got a 1/2-inch depth. Stamped the heart on white cardstock, fussy cut it out, added it to the pop-up with one of these pretty vellum square doilies from Stampin' Up. I just thought it gave kind of I like the shadow actually that it gives. Now the leftover piece from the diagonal on the front, I added inside with just a narrow strip of black cardstock, and then I did some highlighting with a gold gel pen. Hi Valentine was stamped on a scrap of that same peach. I used the Banner's Pick-a-Punch and added some of the peach enamel dots to bring the peach from the front inside. And that's the slimline card. And now my fourth and final card for this video. I pulled out some older vinyl stickers from Stampin' Up. They're called the Painted Love Gold vinyl stickers, and I just thought they went really well with all the gold in the kit. Once again, I stamped flowers on the envelope flap and added highlights with a gold gel pen. Check out this pop-up. I used Karen Burniston's Rockin' Rectangle die set and a piece of heavyweight acetate for this fun action on my card today. So I took one of the red card bases, I cut 2 inches off of the right edge and saved it for putting it on the inside of the card. And then I took a piece of this acetate. Now I'm a bit of a miser on my product, and this piece, it wasn't the full height of the card, but it was wide enough and it was sitting in with the package, so I decided to go ahead and use that rather than cutting into a new sheet. So I used a strong adhesive and attached it to the inside of the card. Then I took that piece that I had cut away from the front and attached it over top of the acetate, effectively sandwiching that acetate panel in between the card front and that leftover piece that I adhered down. So everything looks nice and clean. I stamped the XOXO on the back side of that tag because you can see it when the card is open. I also used another one of the doilies. Same packages on that card. It came with red and peach doilies. And once again, I die cut the mailbox with a stitched rectangle die. I added some puffy heart stickers that I found in my Valentine's stash when I pulled out the Valentine heart doilies. So with the gold in them, I thought they matched really well. A few more gold bits, and then this label is an old Stampin' Up punch. I gold embossed Hi Valentine and then punched it out with this label punch. And since I had the gold embossing powder out anyhow, I gold embossed the sentiment on the front. Now this Rockin' Rectangle, as I said, is a die set by Karen Burniston, so I don't have a tutorial for you. If you have the die set, Karen Burniston has the tutorial, which I will link below in the description box. She has amazing assembly tutorials, and if you don't have the die set, a tutorial wouldn't help you. So I leave it to you to check out her video and see how you assemble this Rockin' Rectangle. It's one of my favorite interactive dies. Our dies are an investment, and I really like to show you different ways that you can use them or how versatile they can be. So there you have it, my first video with 4 alternate cards using the January paper pumpkin kit. If you enjoyed my video today, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more of my interactive cards. And that's it for me today.